That's fine. Yeah, resuming. Do you have to agree to it or something?
Still says paused on my end.
Oh, unpause game and resume are two different options. Alright. Woo!
I forgot what I was doing. Oh, right, I can make a big electric mining drill. And pick up these.
Bring them over to the steel production. Or iron production.
I think this, let's see, 3.9k, 3.3, 0.7. Gonna grab the most. I need a few more of the transport belts.
I'm making some right now. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. Okay, so now the furnace will run indefinitely. We can use a splitter as soon as we have the ability to make one and send the same line of coal to the rest of it, or we can just have that thing continue.
Why don't I just do... For now, I need one of these. Oh, wait. I need one of those. Actually... Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's pull in the excess off the end.
There you go.
We can just run it over for now.
Alright, so I got enough, now we have electricity. I'm going to make the first lab and just plop it down right next to the power plant. And then we can slowly make the lab science items, the little beakers, whenever we have materials for it. But the first few you have to make by hand because you can't even make factories.
I think that automation should be the first thing to research here. I'm gonna actually just...
I'll let you be in charge of research.
Alright.
I'll drop a few science packs while I have the materials. It'll take a while to make them by hand. Alright, I'll grab the extra coal, bring it over and fill up some of the steel producing. So eventually we need to make a steady stream of coal to both iron and copper. Definitely want to get away from the manual movement as fast as possible. Yank those. I think I have enough to research the first item. Probably takes 10.
It's a electric burner.
Yeah, it does take 10.
How do you pick them? How do you pick them up like that? When they're
Grabbing stuff off the ground is F. You can hold it and you can let it run into you.
Yeah, I got it.
Or you can hit it and run. Okay, so automation should run through. I put enough of the things down. Have a crap ton of stone. Nothing to do with it. We can make a big giant paved path for speeding up our movement once we research that. bring over some more coal.
Why does that doesn't have any fuel? Oh, it's fuel. Let's take Bernard.
I mean, I could bring the electricity across, and we could start switching over to the yellow grabbers, inserters is what they're called. And we're about to get automation, so. Let's see.
Oops. Automation finished.
So if you left click on a electrical pole, which what are these treadmills doing?
I didn't mean to put them that way. I got.
And they're running into a electrical pole, which I guess I can fix that.
That's why I didn't have to. Why is it? Oh, I see. What's going on?
You can just click the R key and it'll rotate them.
No, yep. I was trying to not put it down.
But yeah, if you left click on the electrical pole, you get a graph of the production over time, and you can switch it to like the 10-minute version to see if we're doing okay on production versus consumption, and if we need to add more boilers and stuff. So you want the consumption number to be maxed out, meaning that production is not maxed out. Right?
Can you say again where the consumption production meant?
Click the electrical pole itself.
Got it.
So that brings up electrical network info.
So
you can click the
90 out of 95. So
right. Well, see the production. No, because the production number can go way higher, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
We're maxing consumption because we have enough to do so. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You want consumption to be maxed and production to be lower, meaning there's room to grow. Kind of tricky. And also our first bit of electricity I can use to make our first pieces of radar to scan the map. I don't know if you've used those.
Oops. No, I haven't.
So one thing you can do is set up a factory that will turn our raw materials into transport belts, because that's something we're going to need a lot of no matter what. So you'll need one factory to go to iron gears using plates, and then you'll need to take plates and gears to go to transport belts. So you want the iron plates to go past both factories, which you can utilize the fact that there's 2 rows to the transport belt. You have to understand that the inserters will take from anywhere, but they will always place on the far end of the belt. So if you place them correctly, you can put gears on one row and plates on the other row and have them both go past the next set of factories. And then you save time. Or save space.
Can you bring power over here?
Yeah, I'll get there. I got enough wood to make poles, so let's do that. And I'm going to place down our radars within the electrical grid. They use a lot of juice, but we have to spare. Actually, no, we don't have to spare. Let's see. Yep, just maxed that out, which is fine. It'll just slow down the scanning, the sector scanning. I'll pick one up, and we'll be not maxed out anymore. Oh, I need to manually fill. No, that's fine. They're all loaded. We just need another boiler. Or engine, I mean. In the meantime, I'll bring the power over.
How do I bring that? Ah, there we go.
Alright, so you'll have to try to put the poles in a place that can reach everything. Because if you only have the small poles, the placement is actually kind of crucial if you want to have a very compact little setup. But once you have the bigger poles, it's the poles with a bigger radius, it's a little easier.
Right.
You can't have a row of factories immediately next to each other for very long before you need to double up on electrical poles, top and bottom, if you're doing a horizontal line. Of course, electrical poles are cheap, so.
Right.
And space is pretty cheap as well, most of the time. So you'll notice if you hit the map key, our radar scanner is going to start scanning the exterior of our field of vision, and then we'll find the big blobs of coal and iron that we want to set up our main base at. So it just automatically looks at an area once and then goes to the next area for a while, and it's kind of max range, but it's pretty good. It'll take a while to get the max. So you know how the steam engines work in general?
Yeah, I've built power before. This would be my first time with factories, though, so I'm kind of quiet as I'm figuring that shit out right now.
The general idea is that if the water temperature dips below 100, you need more boilers, and it'll do that if you have too many steam engines. So the engines per boiler is what you're looking for. And you could just make a huge stack of boilers and a huge stack of steam engines, but eventually it's easier to go parallel because you can split water easily. Although eventually you'll have to add more offshore pumps because you can only pump so much water. There's a volume concern as well, but that's usually the last thing to be bottlenecked. So if you look at our graph, you'll see of electrical info over the last 10 minutes, you'll see a spike in production and a dip in consumption where I had placed too many of the radars for a second. The electric drills seem to have a pretty steady consumption number, whereas everything else triggers on and off as the factories run, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, we'll add another one of these, and we'll scan twice as fast.
I'm setting up electrical mining in copper right now.
Excellent.
Oops. That was dumb.
Okay. So I'm going to manually build enough science packs for the next thing. Have you chosen what we're researching?
Actually... Okay, I have an idea. Yes, I have. Logistics.
Okay.
So,
where'd all the copper plates go?
I have them all. I have 150 of them. Can I just drop some?
Not sure, but you can make a wooden chest and drop them in there.
Yeah, I have a wooden chest. I'll put that there for transfers. And here's 100.
Okay.
So that is going to be
I'm
field. I'm not going to put that there, but I can put, like, right here, start making a bunch of furnaces.
The oil fields and the enemy spawns look similar. Oh no, enemy spawns are red, not purple. Oh, okay. So if we head west, we should be able to get to the first larger coal batch before we hit the enemy spawner. Alright.
I need iron plates.
I think you need some electricity over here. Well, Well, there's no output for this factory, but I'll let you figure that out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that should be enough science packs for the next one. And I'll work on upgrading the electrical grid just to keep that running.
Alright. This will make... Oh, I see. There we go. You make copper wire, and you make electrical circuits. Good, good, good.
I believe if you middle mouse click on one of the hot slots at the bottom on your toolbar, you can have it be so it's always a one particular item. So like inserters, you're going to use a lot of, the track you're going to use a lot of, electrical poles you're going to use a lot of. So I like to put those as permanent fixtures of 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, stuff in there. I think if you have something there already, you just middle click. If you don't have anything, you get to pick anything of the group. We're doing fine on power, and we're doing fine on research.
Stop the timer. So I'm going to stop the recording here, and we'll start the recording up in a